Chapter 1: The Mockery of Earth. The Galactic Council had long regarded humanity as the galaxy's amusing oddity. Compared to the ancient empires of the universe, Earth was still in its infancy, with only a few colonies scattered across nearby star systems. The advanced races of the galaxy, the Zelnar, Raktarin, and Quok, often exchanged stories of how the humans were too curious, too reckless, and far too dependent on luck. Despite this, the humans had been given a seat at the council. It was mostly symbolic, a way for the powerful empires to monitor their new, energetic neighbors. For decades, humanity had been a minor player, contributing little to galactic affairs. But that would all change when the most feared race in the universe, the Krell Dominion, turned their gaze toward Earth. The Krell were warlike beings, standing over 7 feet tall, with skin made of chitinous, armor-like plates. Their empire stretched across hundreds of worlds, built on conquest and domination. No one had ever withstood their brutal invasions, and now their scouts had discovered a new target, the Sol System. When news of the impending Krell invasion reached the Galactic Council, laughter echoed through the chamber. The idea of Earth, with its fragile alliances and limited technology, standing against the Krell was a cosmic joke. Ambassadors from the most powerful empires, species who had barely survived Krell attacks, mocked the humans. "They'll fall in days," snickered the Zelnar ambassador, his shimmering tentacles curling in amusement. "Maybe hours," added the Raktarin representative, her compound eyes glinting. But amidst the laughter, the human ambassador, a wiry man named Jonas Pierce, remained silent. He listened, his face expressionless, before quietly standing. "We may be underestimated," he said calmly, his voice carrying through the chamber. "But don't forget, humans don't take kindly to bullies." Chapter 2: Preparing for the Unthinkable. Earth had been aware of the Krell for some time. Their reputation as unstoppable conquerors was well known, and every strategist on the planet knew that humanity stood little chance in a direct confrontation. Earth's military was advanced, but nothing compared to the Krell's massive fleets and fearsome ground troops. However, humanity had one advantage that no other species seemed to understand: they thrived when backed into a corner. The leaders of Earth gathered in secret, away from the eyes of the Galactic Council. The president of the Terran Federation, Catherine Wells, addressed the room filled with military commanders and scientists. "We can't fight the Krell head-on," she said, her voice grave. "Our ships aren't fast enough, and our weapons aren't strong enough. But what we do have is something they won't expect: our creativity." Dr. Samuel Hayes, the head of Earth's Advanced Research Division, stepped forward. He placed a small device on the table, no bigger than a coffee mug. It hummed faintly, pulsating with energy. "This," Hayes began, "is Project Scorched Earth. We've been working on it in secret for years. It's a weapon of last resort. And it's not what they think." The generals in the room leaned forward, intrigued. "It's not just a weapon. It's a signal, a way to communicate with the very fabric of the universe, something we discovered years ago by accident during an FTL experiment. If we're forced to deploy it, it could reshape the battlefield entirely." Chapter 3: The Invasion Begins. The Krell fleet arrived in the Sol System sooner than anticipated, their black ships blotting out the stars as they encircled Earth like predators closing in on prey. Their arrogance was palpable: they had never encountered a species that could withstand their sheer might, and they saw no reason why this would be different. Humanity had been given an ultimatum: surrender unconditionally, or be annihilated. President Wells' response was short and direct. "Come and get us." The first wave of Krell ships tore through the outer defenses of the Sol System, blasting apart orbital platforms and swatting Earth's defense ships like insects. The human military fought bravely, but it was clear they were being overwhelmed. The Krell descended on Earth with an almost lazy confidence. Massive dropships landed on the surface, unleashing battalions of Krell soldiers who marched forward with terrifying efficiency. Cities fell under their brutal assault, and millions of human lives were lost in the opening days of the invasion. In the midst of this carnage, Jonas Pierce, the human ambassador to the Galactic Council, returned to Earth. He watched as Krell war machines razed human cities, their terrifying forces pushing deeper into human territory. He felt the weight of the galaxy's judgment on his shoulders, their laughter still echoing in his mind. But Earth's leaders were not panicked. As the Krell advanced, they continued to lure them deeper into their territory, closer to the heart of their cities, into what appeared to be the final stand. And all the while, deep underground, preparations for Project Scorched Earth continued. Chapter 4: Humanity's Last Stand. The Krell commanders were smug as they prepared for their final assault on Earth's capital city. Their forces had decimated Earth's defenses, and victory seemed inevitable. As their dropships filled the skies and Krell warriors marched through the shattered streets, humanity made its move. In the final moments before the Krell attack, Dr. Samuel Hayes activated Project Scorched Earth. The small device, hidden deep within an underground facility, began to pulse more rapidly. It sent a signal, not across space, but through space-time itself, tapping into a force no one had ever dared to use. At first, the Krell didn't notice anything unusual. Their war machines advanced, plasma cannons charging, ready to deliver the death blow to the last of humanity's resistance. But then, the sky began to change. A ripple of energy spread across the atmosphere, shimmering with colors unseen by human or Krell eyes. The Krell war machines faltered, their sensors going haywire as the very fabric of reality seemed to bend around them. Their ships in orbit lost power, plummeting toward the planet's surface, crashing in great balls of fire. On the ground, Krell soldiers screamed as the ground beneath them shifted, warping into impossible geometries. Their armor, once impenetrable, began to dissolve, as though the laws of physics themselves were turning against them. Humanity watched in awe as the invincible Krell, the most feared species in the galaxy, were ripped apart by forces beyond their comprehension. Project Scorched Earth had done more than just send a signal, it had awakened something ancient, something primal within the universe itself. It was as if Earth had become a living weapon, warping space and time to defend itself. Chapter 5: The Galaxy's Shock. As the Krell forces were obliterated by the unknown forces unleashed by Project Scorched Earth, the Galactic Council watched in disbelief. The species that had once mocked humanity now stared in awe, horror, and respect. Earth, the underdog of the galaxy, had not only survived the Krell invasion, it had utterly annihilated the most powerful military force in the known universe. The Krell survivors, a mere fraction of their original fleet, fled the Sol system, their empire shattered, their reputation destroyed. They would never threaten Earth again. In the aftermath, humanity was no longer seen as the amusing underdogs of the galaxy. They had unleashed a weapon that no one understood, a force that even the most advanced civilizations could not replicate. The Galactic Council, once condescending, now looked at humans with a mixture of fear and respect. Earth had earned its place among the stars, not through diplomacy, not through brute strength, but through sheer, defiant creativity and the ability to push boundaries where others saw. Years after the Krell invasion, humanity continued to grow, now a central power in the galaxy. Project Scorched Earth remained a closely guarded secret, its true nature understood by only a few. The universe had been forever changed, and with it, humanity's place in it. Ambassador Jonas Pierce returned to the Galactic Council, his posture now confident, his smile faint. This time, when he stood before the council, there was no laughter. Only silence. And everyone knew, humanity was not to be underestimated again.